Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt Dog. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt Dog. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Who you with Kurt? I'm out. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt Dog. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt Dog. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt Dog. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt Dog. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt Dog. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt Dog. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt Dog. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt Dog. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak On It. 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 Welcome to speak. 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 Who you with, Kurt Dog? Welcome to Speak On It with Who You Kurt Dog. Who You With Kurt Dog. I don't know what's going on with my system today. Seemed like it was coming on, but it didn't. I want to welcome everyone to the show on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. D Live is always in the house, and also Anchor.fm. You can always subscribe to the show on Anchor.fm. We have shows on there that you can hear on regular platforms. So definitely take the time out and subscribe to Anchor.fm. Man, hopefully y'all had a great day today. I did something I've been wanting to do for a long time. So hopefully can get it all in order. I'll share it later. But Texas, we do have an early election going on, so definitely go out and vote. That's why I talk about getting registered to vote for when these elections come up. You can go and vote, and you don't have to try to get ready. We have 8 amendments that is on the ballot. One dealing with the raffles that dealing with judges and some caregivers having visitors come in. So you definitely want to go out and let your voice be heard. I did vote today, so definitely go out. And I was talking with someone that had to find out where the polls was, but talking with someone, they was like, "Oh, is it an election going on?" I'm like, "Yes, it is." Until next week, so definitely get out and vote. Check the polls in your area. I know in mine it's from 8 to 5. Most of them are about the same, but definitely go out and let your voice be heard, because these small elections like this dictate which way our laws would go in. So if you don't take a part of these, they can pass anything they want, and it's nothing you can say about it because you didn't do your part. So definitely go out and vote. Early election is going to go on this week and next week. But don't wait until November the 2nd when the primary comes, because you never know what might happen. So definitely go out ahead of time and vote. Let your voice be heard, and do that for you can sleep good at night. I know most of you probably gonna say, "I'm gonna sleep good if I vote or not," and I know some of them still have the mindset that your vote don't count. But unfortunately, in these small elections, a lot of time it only be a couple of hundred folks to show up to vote. And here's the problem: though a couple of hundred people that showed up to vote in these small election, they will pass the law that they want. But you have that same opportunity. You may not agree with what's on the ballot. So you have people to they're voting it down. So definitely think, oh, those couple of hundred folks can make the decision for me. No, you need to make your own decision, because if not, when they set up the laws that won't benefit certain group of people, if you didn't vote, you can't say nothing about it. So definitely get out and vote, and let's send Greg Abbott a message. Let him know that we're voting now for when it's your reelection next year. We're showing you what we're gonna do next year and get you out of office. So just get up. Don't take long. Go in there and do it. I think when I went in there, I only seen where 3 people voted for the whole day, and I went almost 5 o'clock. 3 people voted. That was it. Just 3 people at that precinct voted. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So definitely get out, let your voice uh want to give judges more power. Need to vote how you want to vote, but remember, you have this opportunity to let your voice be heard. So don't complain if it don't go your way. That's all I'm saying. Don't complain. I'm gonna do my part. I'm gonna re-election. I don't care if they're on a pond for birds or whatever. I'm gonna vote. Get out and vote. Let your voice be heard. Um, Once again, you are listening to Speak on It with Kirk Dog. Uh, we are live, so you can live chat with us in the chat room, and also you can make comments on some of the subjects we're going to talk about, like Phillip Dankins out of Dallas. It was national news a couple of weeks ago that an explosion at an apartment complex here in Dallas, and they made an arrest today. So we're going to talk about that. And then Fiston Ngoy, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but um, he was charged with raping a woman in Philadelphia on the train. And here's the sad part about it. Instead of people trying to help this woman, they choose to videotape it. They called 911, but chose to videotape it. Yeah, they should be charged just as much as Fiston uh, is charged, because how you gonna sit back and see a woman being raped and you do nothing about it? You sit back and grab your phone to videotape it. Um, then Representative Jeff Fortenberry of Nebraska has been indicted. Yeah, we're going to talk about that too. I wish he just go sit down somewhere. But Trump, in his statement about former Secretary of State Colin Powell, yeah, we're going to talk about that statement. If we have time, we would definitely talk about that too. Somebody just need to take Trump away from his phone and everything. Don't. That's so disrespectful for what he did. But we're gonna talk about it. So once again, welcome to Speak on It with Who You With Kurt Dog. I am Who You With Kurt Dog. Welcome everybody on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, not Periscope, Twitch, Twitter, D Live it's in the house, and also Anchor.fm. Don't forget you can subscribe to Anchor.fm for the low fee of $2.99 a month, and you will get different shows than what we do on here. Um, so definitely do that. So it came out, I guess, about an hour and a half ago. So Suspect charged in connection with gas explosion at Dallas apartment complex. This is courtesy of CBS 11. And the Dallas Police Assault Unit obtained 7 deadly conduct warrants for Phillip Dankins, 28. Police said he was involved in a shooting at the complex and a round hit the gas line inside an apartment on September the 29th. Sources tell CBS 11 the mother of Dakin's child lived in the apartment where the explosion happened. He had altercation with her and then fired into the apartment. The bullet did enough damage to cause the leak, source said. Dakin was already in custody at the Dallas County Jail on a family violence warrant. He is now charged with 7 counts of deadly conduct for discharging a firearm and aggressive assault with a deadly weapon. His bond is set at $100,000. The blast happened at a two-story complex in the 5700 block of Hive between South Lancaster Road and I-45. The location is just blocks from Dallas Fire Station 54 near Paul Quinn College. Debris from the explosion was blown until other apartment building and a carport in a parking lot. Excuse me. Um, I, I'm kind of confused. He got into an argument with his baby mama. I don't know how old the child was. I don't even know if the child was in the apartment. I have no idea. And to be honest with you, it shouldn't even matter. For the simple fact, he randomly shot into this apartment. Shot into this apartment that caused the gas leak, that caused an explosion, that injured uh, 8 people, I believe, total. And that should have seemed like 100,000 is a flap on the wrist, because I don't know. I don't know the brother, but still, 100,000 you randomly shoot into this apartment. If his child was in that apartment, what if that bullet would have hit his child? What if it hit the mother or someone else in that apartment? That's why I say this gun law that we have in Texas never should have been signed. Everybody who can get a gun don't need a gun. Now, I don't know what the situation is. Um, I don't know what the situation is with him and his the mother of his child. Maybe they're um, maybe they haven't because news in the past of malicious mothers, malicious parent syndrome. I don't know if that's the same case in this situation, but for the simple fact, it could be one of those opportunities. He's trying to do everything he can to take care of his child, but the mother don't want him to see him for whatever reason. I don't know, but that's not the way to do it, Philip. And anybody else that is listening to me, if you have a problem co-parenting with the mother of your child or the father of your child, do it the right way. Don't go and pull a gun, randomly shoot into an apartment, into a house, and can possibly kill someone or injure someone. In this case, um, there was at least 7 injuries. Luckily, no one died from it. And unfortunately, I believe 4 of those injuries was the fire department. Now, here's the kicker on that. because they was working, and your action, it may be more charges coming, because that was a reckless act to do with anybody. Now your life is destroyed. Your life is destroyed because here it is. You have a record of this. You're going to stand trial, and you're probably going to do some time also. And depends on what type of time you may do. Was it worth it? Was it worth it? Because it's nothing that anybody can do to make me want to go out and just randomly shoot into a uh, into our home, and especially if my child is in there. Nothing can make me do that, because once you pull that trigger, you are responsible for that, for your action and for that bullet. And in this case, you're looking at not only the injuries, the 300 people that was misplaced, all the damage that was done. So you're finna, yeah, they put you out on $100,000 bond, but 9 times out of 10, it's finna be more charges come against you, and you're finna do some deep time because of your action. And I hope I don't, like I said, I don't know the dude, I don't know the mother, I don't know none of them. I'm just reading the report and giving my opinion about it. But I would tell anybody that has kids together to them, uh, and to have these kids, what if it was a one night stand or not? You didn't do anything to prevent it. And fellas, don't think the woman saying, "Oh, I'm on the pill." That pill ain't guaranteed. Uh, and another thing, you better off protecting yourself. So the bottom line is, y'all made a choice to lay down together. Now y'all need to make that choice to raise that child together, because the only one that's going to be hurt behind any action that y'all do is going to be that child. Or if you have multiple kids, they are the ones that's going to be hurt. So you have to look beyond what y'all had going on and look at the best interest of that child or those children's. Either way, they are the ones that's going to suffer, because now when you go to jail, guess what? That child ain't going to be able to see you. Or you doing something like that, that child may not ever want to see you. You may be banned from seeing that child. And I was talking with someone the other day, and I know this is not the show that we're going to talk about malicious parent syndrome, but I was talking to a friend the other day, and we just started talking, and he started telling me what he dealt with. Not only him, but friends of his dealt with, and family members dealt with, dealing with malicious parent syndrome. Look, work it out. It's for the kids. It's the best interest of the kids. Stop dogging the parent and work it out. That's the best thing any of you can do. Yeah, I'm a victim of malicious parent syndrome. Yeah, I mean, we've done shows on it. You could go back on YouTube and watch those shows where we had counselors come on and we talked about malicious parent syndrome. Miss Kincaid, matter of fact, was on the show when we talked about it. And my story is going to be told here soon. Um, as soon as I bring my book out, I'm I'm speaking about it, but I'm not telling everything about it. So hopefully the book could come out. Um, I have it in process later this year. The first of next year, get the book out. Y'all can read it for yourself, and hopefully it can help someone. Now, am I upset at what I went through? Um, I'm hurt. That's my only child. But at the same time, that's something that that mother is gonna have to deal with between her and God. I forgave her years ago, but it never take the pain away the time I've lost with my child. So you have kids together, work it out. Philip, if you need to talk, hit me up. The thing is, it was wrong, and unfortunately, you're gonna be held accountable for it. And that's that's all to it. It's nothing more that anybody can say or do to help you, because I wish I knew you beforehand. I would have told you, hey, that's not the route to go. And if it's anyone that is dealing with this, get counseling. Get counseling. Remove that stereotype black folks don't take counseling. Get counseling. It works. It works. And if you need someone that you could talk to that been through this, hit me up and we could talk. And what we discuss amongst us. Now, unless you going talking about going out hurting somebody, then I'm not gonna stand by and let you do that. But at the same time, we have to be smart about it. Have to be smart, um, because at the end of the day, the only person that is gonna suffer are those kids. They the ones that's gonna suffer. So whatever the altercation was, it's not worth throwing your life away. So um I I did not plan on going into it like that, but sometimes you just gotta speak the truth for what's really going on. Um, Especially with the altercation and just randomly shooting into an apartment complex and misplacing displacing 300 people, and then turn around all that property that was destroyed, not just the complex but all the people property that was destroyed, and all the money that was spent to house these people. That's what you got to look at, because now that they have a suspect, you're responsible for all of that, all because of your action. Unfortunately, is probably going to be more charges come out, and all these places that put these people up. I know the city probably paid some of it, but now it's a possibility you could be sued to repay them of all of that. So I'm not an attorney, but because of your actions, this is what you're looking at. This is the possibility of what you will be facing. Hopefully, it don't go that way, but unfortunately, it probably will. And all the property, although people lost, if they had insurance, the insurance companies can come after you. So you got to be smart about this whole situation. And unfortunately, this situation, um, that wasn't the right decision. like I said, I don't know you. I don't know what the situation was, but something tell me it have something to do with a battle between the mother and you and dealing with the child who is in the middle of a tug of war. And it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be. Um, yeah, I went all off strip tonight. I had no plan on doing all of that. But Phillip, please get some help and hopefully everything work out for you. Um, excuse me. You're listening to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt Dog. I am Who You With Kurt Dog. Um, Welcome everyone on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. D Live is in the house, and also Anchor.fm is also in the house. They're not live, but we are recording it for they could catch the live show. The next story is talking about this sexual assault that happened on a Philadelphia train, which is disturbing, very disturbing. Angry and disgusted, train rider held up phones, didn't call 911 as woman was raped on Philadelphia train, police say. And let me put this up real quick. Do I have that one up? And also, if you're a survivor, Rain offers support through the National Sexual Assault Hotline. I have the number up on 1-800-656-HOPE or 4673. And online at rain.org. That's RAINN.org. A man was charged with raping a woman on a train outside of Philadelphia as fellow passengers held up phones and did nothing to intervene, police said. The man, Fiston Ngoy, 35, harassed the woman and eventually raped her as fellow passengers. Watch the assault, though. 24 trains stop, authorities said. Police believe no one called authority, though they are investigating whether any of the transit office for the Southern Eastern Pennsylvania Transportation Authority stopped Ngoy at a train stop, finding him in the middle of his assault. Southern Pennsylvania Transportation Authority Police Chief Thomas J. Nelson said at a press conference, when the door was open, an officer entered and saw what he believed was a criminal act, according to occurring. That man off here and pulled them out onto the platform. Nestle said both Ngoy and the victim got on the train at the same stop in Frankfurt Transportation Center in Northeast Philadelphia. Police say they weren't able to stop the assault until the train reached the 69th Street terminal in Philadelphia on the Market Frankfurt line, which was about 20 within 3 minutes of the long 911 call they received from an off-duty transportation employee. Police and other officials were troubled that no one witnessed the assault, intervened, and held a news conference, reiterating the need for people who see and reported immediately or through the emergency button on trains. What we want is everyone to be angry and disgusted and to be result about making the system safer. Excuse me. Nestle said, adding that it concerned me. No one stepped in throughout the lengthy assault that an arrest affidavit showed continued for about 40 minutes. 40 minutes. Nobody said a thing or did anything, but held up the phone. He noted civilian captured the assault and appeared to passenger possible recording the attack. There were people witnessing the act with phones in their hands, and people up in direction of this woman being attacked. Elizabeth Jugger, a psychiatrist professor at the John Jay College of Criminal Justice Research Sexual Violence Prevention. She said if people feel uncomfortable, there are other options such as calling the police. When we have multiple people, don't necessarily intervene, she said. However, more recent research actually suggests that looking at video footage of more extreme circumstances that up to 90 was actually somewhat of arbitrating, and this could not step forward to help this individual. Um, that's a long time to sit back and watch someone being set and no one said or did anything for 40 minutes. For 40 minutes. Put yourself in that position. If you was on that train, would you have stepped up? I know I would have without a doubt. Could just imagine this woman being assaulted. I'm sure she had his hand in her mouth or something. And even then, that would have been a sign that, hey, something not right about this situation. Either way, it shouldn't happen. For that many people to hold up their phone and not do anything, that's disgusting. While you watching a young lady being assaulted. And Sunday, I believe. And I didn't get a chance to come on Sunday, but yesterday I didn't really get a chance to talk about it. The other article I read, they are saying that if they find that video online, the person that made that video be charged with a crime. So the thing is, this is discussing to sit back and witness this and not do. We have to get out of the mindset. Everything cannot be about viral videos, go viral, and people liking your videos. Sometimes we got to think and say, hey, this is not right. This is not right. We need to step in. And they said it was over a dozen people. Between all of y'all should have beat his ass and held them down at least. Yeah, let them chop, make him think about it. Every out there, and he remember what he did, but he won't do it no more. So I'm just saying, that's disgusting for all these people and not say or do anything. But if you are a victim of a sexual assault, the hotline is on the stream 1-866-546-4673. Please don't deal with it by yourself. Don't deal with it by yourself. It's help out there for you. So definitely get help. Um, that's very, I don't know, that just, can you imagine if that was your loved one? You found out that they were sexual assaulted with all these people watching and videotaping and did nothing to help them. Can you imagine if that was your loved one? How would you feel about it? Because that's crazy. And with everything that's going on in the world, we still need to pay attention to our surrounding. We still need to uh, make sure if we see something that don't look right, report it. And by them saying it's buttons on the train where you could get emergency help, someone could at least push the button and it took an off-duty employee of the train system to actually call 911. But no one else thought about doing that. Yeah, that's not good. Um, so hopefully the young lady is okay. Hopefully this guy didn't have anything. Um, because if he sexual assaulted her, it's a good chance it's not his first time. So she don't have any long term effect. He possibly could have gave her something, and definitely the victim seek counseling. I know they should have counseling available or offer you counseling, but do not try to deal with this by yourself. Seek help, and also um, I know God will work in mysterious ways, and this may be because of what you've gone through. You can help somebody else to keep them from going through it. So that's crazy on how this all took place. I'm disappointed in the city of brotherly love, and they allow this to go down without helping this victim. Um, yeah, that's crazy. Um, this came out earlier today. Orlando area defense attorney held Henrich arrested in uh, perjury case. Y'all may not realize who that name right off the bat, but that's the attorney that actually represented George Zimmerman in the Trayvon Martin case. He was arrested today. Um, and I kind of remember during that trial, Trayvon friend, a young lady, mentioned something like this, but nobody paid attention to it. And once I read the story, you probably understand what I'm saying about how he coerced her to kind of change her statement or something like that. Um, but I kind of remember that, and if there's other victims out there that he done this to, the sheriff is asking for you to reach out to them. So, Orlando area criminal defense attorney was arrested Monday and accused of witnessing tampering in a juvenile rape case. According to Osceola County Sheriff Marcos Lopez, how hearings who worked the defense group based in Maitland is facing a charge of solicitation to commit perjury. Lopez said at a news conference that the defense attorney is also charged with tampering with or harassing a witness, victim, or informant. Her represented a man accused of raping a girl when she was 9 years old, according to Lopez, and arranged a meeting with his client, the victim, and her father. Well, first of all, the suspect should never meet with the victim at all. That's a no-no. That suspect, when they are arraigned and if they get out on bail, normally the judge say you should not have any contact with the victim. But once again, um, that wasn't the case in this. I don't know what the judge said, but this attorney arranged a uh, a meeting with the victim, his client, and her father. Lopez said during the meeting, Erhurst told the victim and her father to write a letter to state attorney that the rape didn't happen, avoid being served with a subpoena to testify in court, and to lie during the deposition. So he wanted them to lie. Um, so he wanted to make sure this guy didn't go to trial for rape, Lopez said. The victim reported Erhurst excuse me, request to the state attorney in July. Lopez said the OCSO sex crime unit began an investigation. The victim father met with Erhurst on a separate occasion and wore a recording device, according to Lopez. Erhurst told the victim father to read a strip that appeared to be his client's defense of the rape charge. Erhurst is a former assistant attorney general for Florida, Gainesville police officer, an assistant professor of criminal justice at Rollins College, according to his company bio, but now only works in private criminal defense. Erhurst, in April 2012, briefly represented George Zimmerman, the Stafford man who shot and killed 17-year-old Trayvon Martin. The attorney in National News interview defends Zimmerman as the victim of a smear campaign before exiting the case over a lack of contact with his client. Court record shows Erhurst is still actively representing many people as defense counsel in Osceola County. Lopez said it is unknown whether Erhurst made similar requests to victim in other cases he was involved with, and the state attorney will have to review his previous cases. Unless somebody else come forward, we want to know that, Lopez said. Erhurst is currently being held in Osceola County Jail. Online booking record were not immediately available, but he did bail himself out, and he made a statement to a news station there and said, we'll go back to the drawing board. So what he mean about that, I don't know. I guess he's going to start it over again. But he also mentioned in the other report I read that he's 71 years old. Why are you doing this? And 9 times out of 10, he probably done this many of times. As long as he been an attorney, he probably have done this quite a bit, and he should be looking at retiring. So hopefully they don't give him a slap on the wrist like they did with uh, I want to say it was a guy here out of DFW that lied and did some stuff, and he ended up they allowed him to give up his license and retire instead of charging him. No, they need to be held accountable, because if it was anybody else, they need to be held accountable. Welcome to the show. T Cal is in the house. Hey, Kurt Dog, my phone didn't even alert me today. I know something going on with the internet. Commands keep freezing now when I'm pulling up these stories. Happy Tuesday to you too. Thank you for tuning in. Um, yeah, so hopefully they charge this man. I don't give a damn about his age. My motto is you do the crime, you do the time. That's the way I look at it. You do the crime, you do the time. You knew how old you were when you did it. So why should that come up in sentencing? It shouldn't come up at all. Um, how much time we got on Anchor? All right, I think we could do this one then. We'll do one more segment on Anchor. That's kind of like a GOP Representative Jeff Fortenberry indicted. Indicted. Um, Representative Jeff Fortenberry of Nebraska has been indicted. Department of Justice announced on Tuesday. The U.S. Attorney Office for the Central District of California said in a press release that a federal grand jury charged Fortenberry with concealing information and making false statements to federal authorities who were investigating illegal contribution made by a foreign national to the Congressman 2016 re-election campaign. That's why it's so important to get out and vote. The indictment charged the congressman with one count of scheming to falsify and conceal material facts and two counts of making false statements to federal investigator. The congressman has said that he did not lie to federal agent and has vowed to fight back. Fortenberry said in a video uploaded to YouTube ahead of the indictment being announced that about 5.5 years ago, a person from overseas illegally moved money to my campaign, but said he didn't know anything about this. Fortenberry appeared to be in the video with his wife Chelsea. The congressman goes on to say that the FBI agent from California showed up knocking on his door about 2.5 years ago. I let them in my house answer their question. Later, we went back and answered further questions. I told them what I knew and what I understood. They have accused me of lying to them and are charging me with this, he said. We will fight these charges. I did not lie to them. I told them what I knew, he says in the video. A statement from Chelsea and Jeff Fortenberry accompanying the video goes into further detail about the situation, and it states that a fundraiser was held for the congressman in 2016 to raise roughly $37,000. It claims he was unaware that a foreign national gave attendees thousands of dollars to give to him. In 2016, a Lebanon community in Los Angeles held a weekend of celebration, which included a fundraiser for Jeff. The statement reads, what he didn't know was that a foreign national had given attendee $30,000 to give to Jeff. In other words, many of the donations were illegal. Again, Jeff had no idea. The indictment state that an unnamed person referred to as individual H in the document acted as a co-host at the 2016 fundraiser for the congressman. According to the indictment, Fortenberry contacted that individual in the spring of 2018 to discuss hosting another event. The court documents state that during a June 2018 call, the fundraiser co-host told Fortenberry that the $30,000 in donation probably did come from a foreign national. Campaigns are prohibited from taking contributors from foreign national, according to Federal Election Commission. But the indictment state, despite being told by individual H about the illegal donation, defendant Fortenberry did not file an amendment report with the FEC regarding the 2016 fundraiser and did not return or otherwise try to disgorge the contributor. The indictment goes on to say it was not until after after the FBI and USAO interviewed him in 2019 that defendant Fortenberry discouraged the contribution. The statement released by the congressman and his wife said that Jeff called Trey Gaudier a former GOP congressman from South Carolina, for advice and legal representation. CNN had reached out to Gordy for comment. Um, so apparently, I don't know. This is something going to have to play out in court because the thing is, um, he said he didn't know anything about it. It's a possibility. I don't know. But he did call him back and ask if they can hold that campaign again. And apparently, he knew he made more money when they ran it than anybody else did. So I would ask question. Hold on, what are you doing that is so much better where I'm getting more donation than what I've got in the past? So you got to ask question when it's dealing with money and what and the business that you're in. Just like this attorney here in Dallas, unfortunately, he got caught up um, laundering money for drug dealers. But hey, only thing I'm saying is you got to know where the money is coming from because they're gonna follow the paper trail at all time, and that's what's gonna get people caught up. That paper trail. Now, I wish they would investigate Dan Patrick when he talked about using his campaign fund to pay $1 million for anybody that found fraud in the election. That's who they need to investigate him too. Because that don't sound legal to me. I don't know. I'm not an attorney, but something sounds fishy about that. Um, so they should definitely talk about that. And which is jacked up, and then you have yeah, is they believe in Trump that much. And matter of fact, now they said it's from the Republican Party. Um, off of 35, they have a billboard that said, Trump lost, get over it. You're listening to Speak On It with Kurt Dog. I'm Kurt Dog. You can uh, join us 8 p.m. Sunday through Thursday. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. D Live is in the house. And we're also doing segments on anchor.fm that you could go and follow the show on anchor.fm, listen to it on the go. And if you want to hear some other subjects that we talk about other than on this platform, subscribe to anchor.fm. It's just a low fee of $2.99 per month. And let's subscribe to it, and we'll put out more content other than these that are won't say necessary kid friendly, but definitely check it out. And you can also, if it's a subject you want us to talk about, we can actually do that as well. Um, Dealing with um, whatever the subject is, we can actually talk about it on the subscription side. So definitely do that. Um, right now, we're in the middle of talking about the billboard off of 35 E going north on 35. Got a picture of Trump, said Trump lost, get over it. Trump lost, get over it. And it says it's from the Republican Party. I don't know, but that's what's going on. And since we're going to talk about Trump, this statement he put out about Colin Powell that passed away. Um, and when was it? Yesterday. Um,
New from best-selling author John
he
Grisham, who is
hold
suing
on.
judge via.
I hate when stuff start playing in the background. Um, yeah, this statement. CNN said Donald Trump yet again proves there's no bottom. Roughly 24 hours after the death of Colin Powell, Donald Trump proved again that he is utterly incapable of grace of any common dignity. Wonderful to see Colin Powell, who made big mistakes on Iraq and famous so-called weapon of mass destruction, be treated in death so beautiful by the fake news media. Trump said in a statement released Tuesday morning, "Hope that happens to me someday." He was a classic rhino, if even that. Always been the first to attack other Republican. He made plenty of mistakes, but anyway, may he rest in peace. But anyway, may he rest in peace. Yes, Trump really said that. The gulf between Trump's statement and that of other former president on Powell passing is simply massive. Laura and I deeply saddened by the death of Colin Powell, said George W. Bush. He was a great public service, starting with his time as a soldier during Vietnam. Uh, General Powell was an extraordinary soldier and patriot, said Barack Obama. He was at the center of some of the most consequential event of our lifetime. He lived the promise of America and spent a lifetime working to help our country, especially our young people, lived up to its own ideals and aspiration at home and around the world, said Bill Clinton. Yeah. And people still support Trump. He talk about patriots and all of this. Um, General Colin Powell served Vietnam War, Gulf War, and several. I think it's like two other ones he served in, but he had done a lot of things, and he was one of those type of people that if he kind of remind me of my uncle. Um, when he walk into the room and start talking, people stop what they doing and listen and listen. That's how much respect he had from everyone except for Trump. Trump upset that he's not getting much attention today. Um, so he's gonna try to discredit the work that Colin Powell's put in and talk bad about him in a fly way. With Trump, I think he just basically um, put a nail in your coffin because you talking about running for 2024, and real patriots should not fly for this because you looking at the man and knowing your background, 9 times out of 10, you probably upset for the simple fact this man wasn't bothered by your action. He stood up for what was right, unlike you. You would do anything to make anybody look bad. But you should come back and apologize to his family and the American people because he made big sacrifice for this country. Unlike you got out of serving our country. Yeah, had a doctor to lie about your medical report. You didn't serve the country, but you want to feel like you the biggest patriot around. But this is a man that served his life, gave his life to this country. Can you imagine um, some of the things his family went through why he was serving this country? And For you, what you do, you lied about it, for you don't have to serve. Then you turned around and ate off the silver spoon that was given to you your whole life. You lied and steal and talked about folks, making them look down, but unfortunately, you're the one looking like the fool that you are. Yeah, the fool that you are. So at this point, I feel everybody should take your phone, your computer, and yes, you should be banned from any internet connection and should not be allowed on it. Um, this is a way that you feel like you're going to become the president again. And you're so patriot that you want to file lawsuits to block the investigation of the January 6th terrorist attack that you instigated. You are the reason why these folks went down there and act the fool, but you want to block them from investigating it. And that's telling me you're not a patriot. You're just a thug. That's all you are. You're a bully. Even with this great man of that gave his life to serve this country, you still want to talk about him. Had nothing good to say. You want to be like him so bad, kind of like with President Obama. You talked about him too because you wanted to be like him. Well, be yourself. Do better. Do better things with your life. Unfortunately, I don't think you can because you've been this way for so long. And to be honest with you, anybody who voted for you, I hope after what you've done with this, they turn they back on you for the simple fact you talking about true Americans, patriots. Well, guess what? The United States Secretary of State, four-star general Colin Powell, he was all of that. He was well liked on both sides of the party. But because he wouldn't bow down to you, you want to talk about this man. He been serving um, in the military. I seen it the other day when I was reading up on it. He started serving, and that I think it was 60. He got married at 62, from 1958 to 93. 1958 to 93. What have you done? You decided to lie your way out of serving. So Trump, go on and go sit down somewhere. Enjoy your last days. Enjoy the tax money that we pay in your salary. And for all those Senate that refuse to impeach you to keep us from paying you that tax money, um, they times are limited too, because we're gonna vote them out just like we voted you out. And when it's all said and done, I'm gonna sit back and laugh because when this investigation is over, when it's over, and your name come out that you was the ringleader, like we already know, well, guess what? Hopefully you go into jail. Hopefully you do. And but I know you probably gonna take the easy route out. But you Billy Badass, why don't you just accept the consequences? Allow them to investigate this January 6th terrorist attack. And as we talk about it, uh, believe it just came out right before we came on the um came on live that Steve Bannon is being held at contempt of court. They voted to hold him at contempt of court for not wanting to testify. Well, guess what, Trump? Somebody finna start singing like a mockingbird. They're gonna start telling everything they know to save themselves, and guess who the ringleader gonna be? You. They're gonna find that right person to tell all. And when it come out, it's all about you. You are the problem. We know your track record from the Central Part 5 on down. We know your track records. All the lawsuits you have from not wanting to have minorities live in your building. We know your track record. Even the you hiring illegal aliens to immigrants to work in your building. We know your track record. But then when it's time for re-election, just like Greg Abbott, y'all want to talk about the border wall. But at the same time, you hiring these folks knowing they're not here legally. We know your track record. Your track record is you want your way. You don't want to follow the law. You feel like you're above the law. But when it's all said and done, everything that we do on this earth, we're going to be held accountable for it. Hopefully you repent before you get to that point. So other than that, I appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight. And Trump, go sit down. Enjoy that little stimulus package that you're getting while you can. Um, but as soon as these charges come out, yeah, we'll know how that work out for you. So until tomorrow night, if the good Lord said the same, I love each and every one of you. Until then, peace.